For those that can hear me, and just in case this is a replay, because I realise there's no one watching yet, this is just a very quick circular route, and it's extremely windy. It's about 30 miles an hour gusts we've got here, so not the best conditions, but I just wanted to do a quick thank you video because it's been a good year. I've had a good laugh on the channel, and I thought I'll do a quick circular route, and hopefully when we are round the corner here we'll be out of the wind a little bit. So I am currently in Berwick upon Tweed, which is a nice little place near the Scottish border, and I'll just give you a little look around here. That's part of the old castle, that, if I remember rightly. I've actually climbed, believe it or not, I've actually climbed up there. I wouldn't recommend you do the same. I'm not telling you to do that, but I've climbed up there to do years ago to do I think I did a video on this place, and I went up there and I climbed up and I had to sit on top of that bit there in the wind at night in the cold to try and get, because there's a Royal Border Bridge around the corner where the trains go over, to get a time lapse, and I was there for an hour in the cold and the dark, and I didn't have a proper light in those days, so that was quite humorous. And there's a little, I like that, made out of wood, little mole. So like I say, extremely windy, so very, very, very sorry about the ridiculous wind levels here, but hopefully around the corner it won't be so bad. And I've got this on a gimbal, even though it's blasting all over here, so crumbs alive. If I can get down a bit, in fact I might, that is so windy, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go this way. That's horrific. Right, I'll go this way, it'll be a lot safer. I didn't realise it would be so bad down there. Yeah, so this is a very, very quick video saying thank you very much to, I mean, all the people who comment, good and bad, because it's all good fun. That's the whole point of the channel. And I have a look at sort of things that I'm interested in and things you may be interested in. That's quite a good cricket, isn't it? Now, is that a grasshopper or a cricket? Answers down below. Yeah, so we'll do a quick circular. Depending on if the wind gets any worse, I may cut it short. But I just wanted to stretch my legs, because you cannot sit in editing all day. Because I spent ages editing that last video about the Nightcore UT27. Crumbs, that went on a while. And hopefully the signal will be sensible here. Right, get over this wall, and we might be out the worst of that. I've never known it's so windy here. There's the River Tweed down there. But that's what's left of the old castle. And we'll pop over here and hopefully get out of the wind a bit, because it's horrific down there. In fact, it's so windy I've got sunglasses on because it was bringing tears to my eyes. Walking around, the sun isn't even out and I've got sunglasses on. People will think I'm like Ray Charles or something, but it is actually a necessity. Yeah, so that's an access road for the railway there. But over to the side is what's left of the old castle. You can actually get up and have a look, because that's a nice bit of history there. And there's the railway station. But I'll put you up there so you can see. So that's the site of the old castle there. Really interesting history of this place. We can't see it, we may see it when we're further down, but right in the distance over there, near where those red lights are, is the huge arched bridge that goes across. It's quite impressive. So history-wise, I mean, you know, this place has been backwards and forwards between the hands of the Brits and the Scots. You know, England fighting and the Scottish fighting, England fighting, Scotland fighting. It's been going on for a long period of time. I think the Scots first took it in something like 1,000 years ago. We'll come down here because it'll be less windy. Something like 1,000 years ago. And then that went on and on and on fighting, and I think it changed hands about something like 13 different times, which is quite good fun. And after that, I think since if you can hear me over this train, I think since the, something like the 1482 or something like that was the last time it belonged to the Scots, and then since then it's been in the English hands there. There's the famous Castle Hotel, just on the top, on the peak there. And then there's the train coming in. If I go along here, I may be able to, I think I can, if I catch this, I'll be able to show you the train going across the bridge, but it's very windy, so I might have to avoid the section down there. We'll have a look. This is only supposed to be a quick leg stretch. I'm not going on a mammoth hunt or anything here. I like the old stations, but you know, before they changed them into all these modern ones where it's literally all glass and they're horrible. Although every train station in the UK is always freezing cold, and I've no idea why. Right, let's come past the Bobble Hat Brigade. And there's into the old station. Okay, let's see if we can catch this train. Probably not, because I heard the guard blow his whistle there. No, we're not going to make it in time. I'll need to be right down there to see the bridge. Let's have a look. You can see the bridge in the distance, but I can, but obviously the quality on here is poor because it drops it to 720. Let's come down a little. Yeah, so there's the bridge there in the distance. It's actually a shame seeing all this in the winter because you lose, you know, the beautiful views here. It's normally thick and packed and lush. But obviously because we are in the northern hemisphere here, it's now the winter and it's absolutely freezing because we are tilted away from the sun. So I think Friday just past there was the shortest day we would have, so you should be able to see the train in a moment there in the distance. I can't zoom in on this, unfortunately, sorry for that. So you'll see it, there you go, there's the train going. Beautiful bridge, that one, beautiful. Aye, so we are at the lowest, well, the lowest amount of sunlight was on the Friday there, and then it kind of hovers around until sort of just after Christmas Day, and then it starts tilting back towards the sun, and then we'll head back towards the spring and summer, thankfully. That's a nice little path down there. I won't go down there. See what it's got there? Riverside Walk, Castle Remains. I won't go down there in this instance because the problem is when I hit the bottom of there, I'm going to get the blast from the westerly wind there. So we're going to go to the left and go up, which takes you to the town centre and the viewpoint. Even the viewpoint itself is going to be, you know, blasted. It's going to be like, you know, it would actually be an ideal place to put a wind turbine, put it that way. Yeah, so thanks to everyone. I'll keep it to the right here, even though it's better up on the left there. Yeah, so thanks to everyone for another fun year. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, I passed something like 4,000 subscribers, which has always been bizarre to me. I have no idea how I've got that many. Who knows if any of them are, you know, bots or whatever you call them, but I seem to do okay, and I think it's because most of the stuff I do is quite honest. I don't do the old, you must click like and you must subscribe and all that rubbish. I hate it. There's a better view of the bridge. You know, I find that dull, and all the bloody jump cuts you get on a lot of these things. Wow, the water is really whipping up there. Great bridge, that. So if we go along here, this takes you towards the town. I mean, in regards to the town, most of the fortifications go way back. Oh, the blackbird just gone flying past there. And I'll show you some of those, because it's technically like a walled town. Well, some of it is. I mean, it's sprawled out beyond that now that it hasn't been at war for, like, you know, something like nearly 500 years. Now the signal may cut out here, because this is, I mean, look at the thickness of that. That's when walls were built to last. Look at the thickness of that. They're not built like that now, are they? And in the distance you can see one of the next bridges over the Tweed. Hard to see, I realise, because the quality will have dropped there for you. That's one of the road bridges, and then you have another road bridge. There's 3 in total. No, those are the 3. Now, very quiet here. Now, partly that's because we're out of the way, and on top of that, you've got the fact that it is Christmas Eve, so Christmas tomorrow. And like I say, I won't go down to the river, even though it's quite nice. It's just too windy. So we'll head to the town centre on the left here. So you pop up there, and that takes you closer towards the main street. So we'll do that now. And just before I do that, I'll give you a little twirl around. I don't know if you can hear that wind, but my goodness, wow. It's nearly lifting me off my feet. Right, I may cut out a little bit here because we're going to be between 2 ancient walls here. And 5G is rubbish. Right, now which way to go? I can go up that street there, or I think I probably need to go this way. Let's have a look. Some beautiful old buildings, look at that one. That's probably changed very little in rather a long time. I'll just let this guy get past. Not everyone drives a Rolls Royce, you know, around here. That's a one-off. I don't know what that is. That's some sort of charity business over there. Something to do with cancer, which is nice to see. Now look at that, that's a house, but obviously offices, I'm guessing. But then above you've got the original, that must have been a church at some point. Isn't that interesting? You've still got this, you cannot really see it, but you've still got the stained glass window in that beautiful stonework there. That's incredible. Okay, the old central garage here. Now I can take a left here, which will take us onto the main street. But what I want to do is I want to take a right here instead, because the main street's quite uninteresting. Whereas if I go down here, this is a lot more interesting. Now can you see those humps there? Not this wall, but behind. That's part of the old built-up walls for fortifications. You can actually get on top of there. I probably won't go and have a look today because not with this wind, it'll be absolutely ludicrous. If I was flying a kite, it would maybe be a good idea. And there's the River Tweed on the right there. Yeah, I'm cat and mouse with the wind here, trying to avoid it. It's horrific. Yeah, you can see there, the watch, when you come around here, you can see this bit I was talking about where you can get up on top. You can see how thick that was, that fortification there. And then it goes right to the main street, so it goes all the way along there. And that's the main street there. Sorry about the wind noise here. I can hardly hear myself. Yeah, so this is Meg's Mount. One of the 5 bastions or gun platforms that were part of the massive defence built during the reign of Elizabeth so 1558, so this was built up after it became permanently English. Because that was something like 1482 or something like that. Since then, it's always been in the hands of the English. I think they just lost the will to fight anymore. But you know, it was an constant ongoing thing between Scotland and England, and maybe they just thought, we've had enough. So, imagine, changed hands 13 times. Right, get the Scottish flag up. Right, get the English flag up. Right, put that one down. Get the Scottish flag up again. Right, this is a bit more sheltered. Nathan Englander, what would you recommend with all the same features? Nathan, can you just post that again? If you just copy and paste your very first message, because I didn't have time to read it. That's one of the things about going live. It doesn't stay on the screen for more than about 8 seconds. So within that 8 seconds, I've got to quickly work it out and then reply. So sorry about that. And someone just put a comment there about Meg's. Now, Meg's Mount, that's one of the huge, massive cannons. Now, I think that was used near here. There's a castle just westward of this position along the River Tweed. You can still get in, and I think what that Meg's Mon, or whatever the hell it's called, it's a huge cannon, is currently, I think it might be its Edinburgh Castle. It's not the one that the fire, you know, for the times. It's not that one. That's a smaller, more modern one, but I'm pretty sure it is there. And I don't know if it can't be related to that, because it may be a different Meg, because obviously that is a Scottish-owned cannon. So sorry, Nathan. Sorry, I didn't catch that. So like I'm saying, if you just pop your question on again there. I just caught the tail end where it said something along the lines of, what would you recommend, or something like that. Sorry about that. Right, signal may drop here, so I'll be quick, because this is a little section where you've got to go down and along. Right, pretty steep here. Right, hang on, there's if we get down here. Okay, so you've got Bridge Street to the left and Riverside Walk. Well, I'm not going to go that way because it's far too windy. Right, now you can see that one there is way more modern. That looks like sort of your standard concrete construction. And that is one of the road bridges. I think that's a larger one, and then you have a smaller road bridge. I don't even know if that's still used for traffic. It may not be, but there's definitely people on it. And it's got something here saying path to Golden Square, whatever that means. Pretty nice. So I've got no idea what Golden Square is. It sounds like somewhere where you get free gold. There's another train in the distance there. Here we go. Right, question for you. Years ago, I bought the Nikon HC65 based off your review. Thank you. Well, that was an honest one, so you probably enjoyed it. I currently own 2 of them, but I'm thinking of upgrading to something more modern. Okay, so HC65, excellent light. I've still got mine, and it still works to this day, no matter how much I've battered it around. The only thing that has changed over that time period is the elastic has become less elastic, which is a little bit annoying. However, you may want to look at the Nikon HC65 V2. So what are the differences? Okay, so instead of the standard setup that they've gone for a full TIR setup, so you get a really diffuse sort of light on that. So Nathan, you may want to look at that. If you can try and get it on sale, stick it on like your Amazon wish list or something and wait until the price drops. It can be a bit pricey, but it's worth it. There is a slightly better one, but I don't think it's worth it. So I think you get about 2,000 lumens on turbo with the HC65 V2. So definitely worth it. That's what I would go for. I mean, it depends. Do you mean more modern as in more up to date, or it has to be more powerful? It depends what you're after. But I hope that's answered the question for you there, Nathan. If not, just, you know, stick a comment in saying, "You fool, that's not what I meant." And I'll take this opportunity again to say thank you very much to everyone who visits the channel. You're all a good laugh. You don't have to subscribe or do the thumbs up or any of that. As long as you enjoy yourself, I'm more than happy. We're well over 4,000 subscribers in total, which is amazing. I never thought I'd get that. On multiple occasions in the past, I've said I thought I'd get maybe 50. Because it's just me waffling on. I'm no expert. But I've gone from sort of strength to strength. I don't know how I've done it, but I have. Right, let's pop under this bridge. And then we're heading towards the older bridge in the distance there, which is, it's made out of that beautiful sort of pink sandstone. I like that. Who's that? Is that me? That looks like me. Actually, no, that's me there. That's me when I've been editing for 6 hours. It actually looks a bit like Luffy from One Piece, doesn't it? So the sun extremely low at the moment. This is our winter. That's basically as low as it'll get. So height-wise, it comes up and it never really reaches very high above the trees, which makes this country look very cold and sort of unfriendly. But it's not the case. You know, we're not like that. So up there, if I remember rightly, yeah, I think I've been up there. Up there, there's some really old, important houses. So, do you know what? I might go up there rather than down here because it's a bit more interesting. Or, actually, I'll hit that on the way back. I just want to see what's around here. So I'll pop down here. Past the granary. It's not a granary now, obviously. That's just one of the things that the building was used for, because this was a massive port. That's where a lot of the riches of this place came from. Let me put my sunglasses back on. Crumbs! My eyes are watering because it's so windy. There's a look back at the old concrete bridge. And then under it, you can see the ancient one. You can see how old this place is. Look, it's still got the old cobbled streets. So Nathan's saying, I honestly don't know how you do this beautiful scenery where you are. I'll try and figure it out. Thank you very much, Nathan. Where are you from, mate? You don't have to, if you don't want to put it, I realise people want to keep their privacy. You don't have to put it if you don't want to, but sometimes it's quite interesting. So if you wanted to put that, look at the buttresses on that bridge. So you've got the old bridge, but see how it buttresses out. Interesting. Almost like an ancient castle. I mean, all of this is basically ancient. I mean, look, these will have been replaced at some point, but we've still got the old cobbles. So you don't often see that abroad in a lot of countries. I mean, you certainly do in medieval towns and places like this. I hope I've helped with that question there, Nathan. Right, I'm going to cross this road. Now, remember before I said I wasn't sure whether cars still use this? Well, they do. So it's a one-way though, so you can only head to the south. And then there's the old docks. I'll show you some of the, because obviously I'm passing by a lot of things I'm so used to seeing. But look at that stone, that's made of stone. They've actually made that all from stone, isn't that incredible? Whereas these days you'd use iron and glass and God knows what. So let's come down here. Now they've modernised this, obviously you've got the old cobbles, but then they've modernised it with this non-slip stuff, so they kind of get through. So up there you'll see it's got key walls, because this is the key, but this is the wall section here, so all of this, and it comes down, so fortified, so if someone was to come in, it's fortified. There is a huge big gate as well where most of the trade would come through, but you've got these mini ones, and then behind there, people don't know this, but there's like little tunnel things. I won't go in, because if I do, I'm guessing it'll be like a vault and the signal will cut out, but I'll show you from the door. Well, I say door, it's a passageway. And you can tell it's old because I've got a duck to get through this. So if I have a look, so if you look at that there, see that? It's like a Harry Potter thing, isn't it? What's it called? Diagon Alley or something like that. So if I come in slightly, it'll change the white balance and you'll be able to see a bit better. There you go, you see? But ancient, absolutely ancient. I won't go through, like I say, because it is completely enclosed with, you know, masses of work there. It's just going to cut out. And I'll show you some of the other ones because it's quite interesting having all these little passageways. And there's another view of that bridge. Obviously it's a one-way now. It's got a little cafe in it and things like that. I was hoping it would brighten up a bit, but it's still so dark. You can't see anything. So we'll pop along here. And there's another one, that's called Sallyport. I've no idea who Sally is in this context. I heard of Mustang Sally. And as you can see, that's been broken off at some point, but look. So there's Sallyport, straight through the walls. And obviously these, you'd be able to defend these if this was getting attacked. And look, if we come back, I try not to fall over. Look how high up that is. And you've got the stone runoffs for the water there. So that the drainage system behind, all the water runs off. Incredible. They don't make them like this now. Like I say, it's a shame I can't go in, but it will cut out. If this was a pre-recorded, I'd be able to show you a lot better. If I come a bit closer, it'll change. There you go. Look at that. And then arches around the corner there. But damn solid. You can actually see one of the old, I don't know if that probably not original, but because it looks layered, that the way it's corroded. But you can see one of the old metal, and there would have been one down there. You can see there. So there would have been a gate on there at some point. And originally there would have been a massive one. Look at that. Imagine the size of the bolt that goes in that. Look, there's my fingers. Crumbs. Whopper. But that's what you needed in those days because people turned up with tree trunks and smashed the door in. I'm talking about invading armies, obviously, not just random people walking around the streets. It's fascinating that the way the houses are up there. There's one of the old lampposts. And there's another one, that's a better one, you can see all the way through, look. I mean, that's not the original, but that's similar to what you would have seen. So you have these huge bits of timber and then it's studded. You sometimes see Gambersons studded like that, although that's not necessarily authentic, but on a door it certainly is. And then there's the more modern ones at the bottom there where they've put like at the end of a bolt. And I like how they've done that. They've got the new style and then the old one above it. There's a little bit of history for you. You are here. I'm not going to zoom in on that. This is only supposed to be a quick walk. It's not a history tour. And there's the River Tweed there, and then headed out that way is the North Sea. So heading towards Denmark and Sweden and all of that if you cross the water there. Let's have a quick look. There's not a lot of ships in. Guiding star, and it's starting to rain, so just bear that in mind. I try not to fall in the water again. I nearly fell over a chain there. Falling over a chain live in Northumberland. Super stream, that would have been good. I would have got more hits, I'll tell you that. Now I think this is a cafe now around the bottom. We'll have a look, there's one of the old doors there, you see it? Hard to see, I know, but that's one of the old, I mean that won't be the original door, definitely not, but it's certainly similar to what you would have seen. With some nice stained glass up there on those houses. And there's the main gate on the left where the main footfall traffic and trade stuff would have gone through, I presume. I'm not a historian. And this looks modern. That doesn't look original. The chandlery. I have never been there, I shall tell you that now. It looks like one of these places where you get a tiny bit of fish and 3 chips and it's 100 quid. There you go, so just for scale, look at the size of that. That's a whopper. Now that looks like it's changed. So you've got the original sandstone there, and then you've got this pink sandstone. I wonder if they've redone that at some point, or that's the original, and this has been redone. Must have been done at a different time maybe, although I haven't said that. That's all dirty, and then when the dirt's coming off, you can see the pink sandstone, and then hovering up, looming above it, are the old, beautiful sort of stonemason worked houses there. The fronts look quite smooth, like they've been redone. They've still got some of the old features on. Right, now I may have to go through here and right, so we'll do that now. Let's pop through here. So huge, look at that. So Nathan, I hope you're enjoying the views. And then there's a little bit of history here, so if I can, apologies for the wind noise, but there you go. This is called the Sand Gate. It was built on a line lane down in 1296. Wow. Look at how interesting these stairs are. So they go up, and then they sort of gravity defying, hover above. I see a lot of that sort of thing in Edinburgh as well. Some beautiful architecture there. Right, I think, can we go this way? I'm not sure. I think maybe we can, but let's have a try. Look at that. How's that for a fire escape? Oh, that's modern. That's made of aluminum by the looks of it. I think we can go through here, hopefully. Now here's a question. I don't know the answer myself, so I'm not trying to be clever here, but why is that house yellow? And it has a, looks like some sort of falcon at the door. Right. Unfortunately, this wind is actually getting worse, so I may have to cut this short. And that's a great viewpoint up there, and you could go along the old cobbled street and look at all the houses that I showed you from the bottom, but not today, not today. There's been a load of branches brought down with this. For the last sort of couple of days, there's been a lot of wind. So it's been quite poor. Okay, when we get to this point, we should be able to see the old pier or breakwater. It depends what you want to call it. I would call it a pier. It's definitely a pier though. And there's Palace Street, or what's left of the original buildings there anyway. Now, who's that fella up there? Is that Lord Nelson or someone? Bowen Villa or Boa Villa. Don't know who that is. Right, if I've worked this out correctly, yes. So there's the old walls. You can get up there, but I won't because it's so downwindy. And then across the way As you can see, like there's that's either a chimney stack or like an obelisk, I'm not sure. And then there's the pier there with the old lighthouse on it. So it actually drops straight off after this point. I'll show you. There. Look, it drops straight off into the water. So there's no beach or anything, or path down there. And it's the same all the way along. It looks like high tide though, to be fair, so some of that may be slightly exposed at some points. With beautiful old walls, and then obviously to defend them you had these crenellations, I think they're called. Again, I'm not a historian, I don't know all the terms, just things I've picked up over the years. You can see down to the water there. And the North Sea, which looks freezing, absolutely freezing cold. There's one of the old cannons. I think that's probably a recreation. I wouldn't like to think that's the original. I don't know, or a more modern one. It's certainly not back in, super medieval times. But even that's massive. Imagine having to load that and then, right, stick your fingers in your ears. Right, primed, you light it there, right, try and aim it at the ship and hopefully, and then boom. In fact, well, these ones not a gift, because they've got like a sort of strange, it's either a Russian crest or, see the crest on the top there? These may have been captured or a gift. There's another plaque around here, let's have a look. Okay, we've got here, crumbs, that's what it used to look like. So we are probably there, or there. Wow, that was back in the day. So there's the old castle. Then we've come along here and down, and then I showed you this bridge. The second bridge, the more modern one, which is there, made of concrete, isn't in that photograph obviously, because this is from 1745. Then we walked along the quay and then up. So very interesting. And then you've got like sort of a barracks over here. I may show you that. Beautiful. Fisher's Fort. But like I say, I'm pretty sure they are not original, but I could be completely wrong. Cannot remember. I'll try and find another plaque, but there's the view that they would have. So brilliant view. Now those ducks down there look like common ducks. You've got the females, which are brown, and then the mallard, the male ones with the green head. It's a shame there aren't any eider ducks because they make that funny noise. Now, you can see the waves chopping up over that pier there. Oh, that's interesting. So this bit isn't covered in water. But you can hear the ducks. We'll pop down and then up, because I don't want to bore people. I'll show you some of the architecture. So there you go. You can see the church in the background there. So a lot of it's relatively unchanged. I mean, down there, that's an add-on, that's an extension they've put on. But other than that, a lot of it's unchanged. And you can actually get up on that hill where you can see some of the old battlements. Right, I won't go up there because of the wind, and I'm certainly not going in there because of the wind, and I've done that last year I think anyway, so we'll go underneath here. So there's a little tunnel around here. Right, here we go. Kipper Hill. I don't know if that's related to kippers, which is a smoked fish, a red herring. Yeah, so I'm not going to go down there today. I mean, I've already been waffling for 40 minutes. It's ludicrous. Let's head back. I'm sure people have had enough of my waffle. Anyway, for those still with me, thank you. I realise the Americans will be waking up soon, depending on which part of the country you're in, obviously. The East Coast will be waking up there. So big thanks to all the American people who follow the channel, because that's the biggest majority of viewers. And then after that I have the UK, which is obviously the United Kingdom. So that's Northern Ireland, England, Scotland and Wales. And then I have people from Germany seem to be quite keen on my stuff, which is pretty cool. If you could just send me a load of free tools, that would be fantastic. That would be a big help. As for the coming year, I've got loads of stuff I need to be looking at. I've got 2 Bosch screwdrivers to look at. They are both ratcheting with onboard bit storage. I know that probably bores a lot of people listening to this, but I will be looking at that. What else? I will also be looking at, I think I've got, who was after me? Sophie were after me to look at some sort of thrower. I like that decoration there. I'll show you the houses actually, instead of me waffling and looking at the street. I'll come out a little bit so you can see the houses. Yeah, so I'll be looking at that. Flashlight, Nightcore haven't sent me that last thing they sent me. I've finished the UT27. Thoroughly enjoyed using that. Great light. And what else have I got to look at? Right, excuse me, I'm just catching up with messages here. So it's got, I don't know how you do it, from Nathan. Hi, Nathan Englander. I will look into it. Thank you. Enjoy your series. Thank you, Nathan. I just got that there come through. And hey, you guys, sorry, Top Dog. Thanks for all the support during the work. Now look at that. There's a little tree on the roof. See it wobbling about there. It's tiny. Sorry, Top Dog. It was just the time presented itself to do a quick live stream. I wanted to stretch my legs. So, believe it or not, Top Dog, I've been waffling for 43 minutes. Think of that. And then I think I cut out there because I've just had a thing up saying that you are live. That generally happens when there's a cut, so apologies for that. So as I was saying, Top Dog, sorry. That's what I've done. So feel free to go back. Yeah, I'm cutting out here, so we've got poor signal, so I'm going to head to the left. Stream. Apologies for that. But we're really enclosed here. And there's a lot of old buildings here for signal. Right, so we'll head left. You can actually get to the walls there, but I won't because the signal's rubbish. Right, if anyone's got any questions, if you pop them in this chat there, and I'll have a quick look. If I miss them, it's because I'm trying not to fall over. And they stay on screen for like 8 seconds, which is silly. I think there is a new feature though, where you can scroll back, but try working that out. When you're trying not to fall over. Now what's going on here? Looks like a saber-toothed tiger or something. Right, we'll just walk with a bit of ambience here. Ah, flaming apple. Years ago, I think I came here. If they're watching, the person who I was with, which was an old boss at the time, might remember this place. Not that one, but on the left. It probably wasn't called that then. Yeah, thanks CS for the connection dropping signal there. It's just it's the build up here. I mean, you can do a recce and it'll say, you know, oh, you've got this signal and that signal. Doesn't mean you're going to get it. Right, let me get across here without dying. And there is Mary Gate. So can you remember that we looked at one called Sally Gate and then there's Mary Gate. Right, we're nearly to the main street here, or part of the main street anyway. Quite quiet today. Right, we're coming up to a place that sells hot donuts. So should I get a hot donut? Actually, I shouldn't ask that because I know what the stock answer will be. Hot, fresh donuts. What is it about the smell of donuts when they're cooking? Right, we're nearly to the big Christmas tree on the main street. And then what I'll do is I'll end the stream because we're coming close to an hour. There, you can see it there, and they haven't bothered putting any decorations on, which is nice. Now, how's this for a name of a shop? Look, you see this one here? See what it says there? Junk and disorderly. I like that. So you can buy some junk and be as disorderly as you like, and no one can do anything about it. Aye, there's the tree that they've not bothered putting any decorations on. Actually, they have, they just haven't got them turned on, the lights. And then there's the bridge that we've passed. Hi Top Dog, I always enjoy your walkabout, says Top Dog. Thank you very much, mate. I realise a lot of it's waffling, but I just like the people to see, you know, the area where I'm from or the places I've seen and done, because I see these things all the time and I don't think anything of it, whereas someone from abroad might see it and go, wow, that's totally different, I really like that. You know, they might not always get the opportunity to look at these things. I'm always fascinated when I see things abroad and I think, that's amazing, and yet the people who live there go, ah, it's a lot of rubbish, what are you talking about? But it's because they're so used to it, and that's what happens, you become very used to the things that are around you. Okay, we'll pop up the main street here, or what's left of it anyway. And then I'm sorry, Top Dog, I'm going to have to make a move. There's some interesting stuff, look. Some of the local birds there. And that looks like, well, a depiction of the Green Man, also known as Bigfoot in some countries, you could argue, or a continuation of that myth. Old-fashioned sweet shop there, where you have to like say, I want, you know, this amount of sweets and that amount. It's not necessarily all in pre-packed stuff. All right, get across here. Right, I'll take it to the top of this bridge and then we are done. So you can go up the steps on the left here and then it'll show you the main street of Berwick and then we're done. So Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas to everyone who consumes my content. I hope you enjoy it. It's, you know, it's done for the fun of doing it rather than, you know, trying to be famous or any of that rubbish. And the sun's coming out, I don't believe it. The sun is actually coming out. So there's like the old battlements. Thanks, Top Dog. Merry Christmas, mate. And Merry Christmas to anyone who is on the replay of this. Because some people are doing replays of some of my walkabouts, which I find quite fun. And saying, I lived there. Or I used to live there as a child, and it's interesting to see all these places. Right, we'll go to the windiest point and then I'll end it. So the windiest point will be up those steps, okay? But I'll show you the main street first. So that's as you come in. So there's Meg's Mount, which we discussed earlier, and you can walk through there. And then there's the main street. So Fred the Spaceman says, I live 10 minutes from where you are. Wow, where you from? You don't have to put if you don't want to, Fred, you know, for privacy reasons, but can you just let me know whether you are north, south, east or west from where I am? So that's quite interesting. You're not in Screamiston or somewhere like that, are you? So, you know what, it's a shame. I was expecting there to be a lot more Christmas lights here, and I think definitely there's some, but I think this year most places have really played down Christmas. South, so Fred the Spaceman is south. Oh, okay, you're not the other side. Well, I don't want to spoil it and give away your location if you don't want to, but south, okay, that's interesting. So for people who want to know, that is south, technically, because you've got the, well, I can see in the distance, but you've got the North Sea there. Then that's heading north towards the Scottish border, which is about 2 miles away. Fred, you may be able to correct me on that, I could be completely wrong. And then, sorry for this, the wind is absolutely whipping here, so I'm going to have to hold the camera carefully here. Wow. Right, I'll try and get the top of this. I'll try and get the top of this hill. Now look at that pigeon there. You see the pigeon? How's that for being cozy? Can you see him in the middle? You've got like a lead tank there for water, and then just above it is a pigeon. He's getting cozy, and then there's one there, looks like he's sitting in the bath. Right, we're going to go to the top of Meg's Mount, and Fred's saying should be a bench on top of the hill and some info. Thank you, Fred, thank you. Okay, that's cool. So that being, because someone asked earlier when I came round the bottom, they said, is it Meg from Meg's Mon, which is a massive cannon which was used near here? Is it Creighton Castle or whatever it's called down the river? Now there's the Louvre, not the one in France. I don't know what that one is. I don't know what that is. Right, nearly at the top. Wow, brilliant view up here. Beautiful. So if you remember on that photograph I showed you around there, you couldn't see this modern concrete bridge, just the original one. You can see the North Sea there in the distance. Sorry, the camera keeps pointing up, but it's literally the wind. Wow. Right, I've made it. I've made it. Nice walk under the bridge too with some ruins. Yeah, I wanted to do that, Fred, but I couldn't because the wind was so bad. Right, let's give you the 360 and then I'll show you what the plaque is. So thanks, Fred, for pointing that out. You're right, there is a bench, you're right. So there's the town there. And sorry about the wobbling here, but my goodness, wow. I'm ready for takeoff here. Wow, right. I'm gonna have to come down because that is so powerful. I nearly fell over there. Whoa. I can't believe how windy it is. Put it this way, if I'm saying it's windy, you know it's windy. If crumbs alive. Wow. Whew. Right, I'm heading back. We've nearly done the hour. We'll pop along here and down, and we are done. Whew. Whew. Rocky victory dance. Yes, I should have done that, shouldn't I? I see yes is saying don't encourage them, because I will do it. The problem is, the reason I'm not is because there's nowhere to put the camera down. Let me sit down. If it wasn't so windy, I would do it and I'd run up there and then I'd have kids following us and I'd get to the top and I'd go, yeah, the town hall, just like Rocky. Right, let's get over here. Now, who's that? Who's that a statue of? That's quite interesting. There's a little dog on the side. Then you want Fred, you'll know, being a local, it says Anne, Lady Jerningham from Berwick. So there's Lady Anne with 2 dogs. Can I get down this way? Let's have a look. Maybe. My goodness, no, it's too windy. Right, once it hits an hour, I'm off. Oh, sorry, Fred. Fred, I thought you were a lifer for the region. Sorry about that, mate. Here's me saying, Fred will know. Fred knows everything. He's 96 and he's been here since he was a lad. Sorry about that. Right, we'll pop down under the bridge and then along, boom. Fred, it doesn't matter. I've lived in the northeast all my life and I still find things that I know nothing about. So I don't think it really matters, does it? You can't know everything about every single place. Yeah, you're completely right, Fred. Northumberland is spoilt. If you go on Google Maps and you just pull out so you can see most of Northumberland and do a search for something like castle or castles, you'll be amazed by the massive profusion of them. We're spoiled, really. Right, I would go along, like I say, and show you, but we're not going to see much extra and I'll just get blattered by the wind, so we'll pop up. And then we're nearly done. Yeah, so the amount of castles in the north, the amount of old buildings, we've got Cragside, which is an incredible place for history. Huge as well. Very, very lucky. Right, we're nearly back up to the train station. Well, the top of that area. And then I'll say my goodbyes. Fred's just mentioning St. Cuthbert's. Actually, there's a video on this channel where I cover that. Not that I'm telling you you've got to go and watch it, but anyone who doesn't know what that is, I do have a St. Cuthbert's, because he's quite a cool bloke, you know. If you look into the historical reports on him, he was a great horse rider. He was quite full of himself. He could like talk people around, and he was quite a cool bloke. And then we're back to Meg's Mount. Remember before we mentioned it? So we saw that from the other side, which was over there just before. In fact, I best end this here because it's going on too long, this stream. So we'll get out the wind and I'll say my goodbyes. Right, if I can get this camera out the damn wind. Yes. Here we go. So if I pop that there. Right, I shall say my goodbyes. So it's been a good year, good fun. Over 4,000 subscribers. Thank you for joining me. Merry Christmas to everyone. Even the people around here may want to watch this as a rerun or whatever the hell they call it. I've had good fun. I always have good fun with the channel. If I didn't, I wouldn't do it. And that's my main impetus for doing it, not money or fame or any of that rubbish. So have a great sort of Christmas. I'll be taking a little bit of time off. Just briefly though, because I've actually caught up with a lot of the stuff. I've got a lot of tools to look at, but I will look at them eventually. But it's time for Christmas and it's time for a break. If you've got any questions, stick them down below or put them on the channel and I reply to everybody. I'm still able to do that at this point just. And thank you for joining me. Right, I am off. Merry Christmas.